Hello, everyone. As you are coming in, please say hello in the comments. Today is day 4 of the challenge. I'm so excited that you're here with me. And today we're going to be talking about authenticity and the support system you can find in networking, okay? So, one of the first things I want to hear, of course, as you're coming in, say hello in the comments. Tell us hello and where you're coming in from. And then I also want to hear your ahas from the past 3 days. We have shared and learned a lot in the past 3 days, especially from yesterday. And I heard from a few of you that shared that, it just seems so much better than stalking people on social media or to build your network, because that's really not how you need to build your network. Hi, Cindy. So glad that you're here. So yeah, this seems to be, you're saying, that it seems to be a little bit more personable and realistic, which is exactly how it needs to be. So I would love to hear from some of the others of you. So share your aha. You can share more than one. If you had more than one aha in the past 3 days, that is tremendous. So share in the comments. As you're coming in, you can say hello and then share your ahas from the past 3 days. And like I said, if you have more than one aha, that's even better, because we've learned a lot in the past 3 days. And networking at the core is just being kind. That's how you actually start building those relationships. Hello, Linda. Glad to see you here. So say hello as you're coming in and share your ahas from the past 3 days, okay? I know there may be a little bit of a lag depending upon where you're coming in from. And of course, you do have to give StreamYard the ability to actually show your name as you're coming in as well. So say hello, share your ahas from the past 3 days as we get started, okay? So again, networking at the core is just being kind. Some of us think that everything has to be perfect before we get started, and that is so not true. You just need to start and learn as you go, and you can start from right where you are, whether you're in the very beginning stages, of your business, or if you've been in business for a while, you can start from right where you are, building those relationships and those partnerships to help grow your business and move your business forward. So, hello, I'm Lisa DePaffel, owner and chief cheerleader at Relationship Connections Referral Network, and your host for this 5-day Kickstart challenge. The purpose of this challenge is to help you make the most of your networking efforts. And some of you, you may have networked a little bit in the past, but maybe you haven't utilized, all the different things we're learning here this week to help with your networking efforts and building those partnerships and power partners that we've been talking about. So I'm really glad that you're here. Cindy says, my aha was the follow-up. I like the idea of sending a few emails to touch base with your connections. That is an awesome aha. So as more of you are coming in, just say hello and share your ahas from the past 3 days, okay? As we get started. So I also want to congratulate all of you that have been doing the homework. This is amazing at all the homework. You are definitely rocking the homework assignments, okay? So I'd like to acknowledge all of you that have actually implemented and done your homework assignments. And I understand if, maybe you haven't completed all of them, because sometimes you have to schedule a specific time to do the coffee chat and whatnot with the another person. That's perfectly fine. You still have the rest of this week, the weekend, and next week to get those done, okay? The private Facebook group will continue to stay open through February 18th. So you still have plenty of time. if there's something you need to catch up on, you haven't, got to specifically do one of the day's homework assignments, that's perfectly fine. You still have plenty of time to get that done and then post it in the group as well. Now, after tomorrow, tomorrow will be our last day for prizes, as we are doing the prizes, every afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. So if you do want to be eligible to win one of the prizes that I'm giving away, your homework does have to be in the Facebook group, before the next prize session takes place. Okay, so awesome. Linda says her aha is need to start a spreadsheet to track all my contacts and meetups. Yes. That's a great place to start. Great place to start. Okay, let's jump in here. And today is the 4th day, and we are going to be focusing on being authentic with your networking efforts, okay? If you missed the other live streams, you can totally catch up. Like I just said, if you haven't got all your homework done, or if, you weren't available for one of our live trainings, that's perfectly okay. The replays are going to be in the private Facebook group, and the homework threads are going to be there as well. So if you are watching us from a different location besides the private Facebook group, I want to invite you to officially sign up for this challenge. Okay, Cindy, if you don't mind sharing that link in the comments, that would be helpful. I am streaming this on YouTube as well. So if you happen to be viewing this on YouTube and you didn't exactly sign up for the challenge, go ahead and do that. That gives you access to be invited to the private Facebook group where everything is being housed. The replays are in there. The homework threads are in there for you to post your homework, and different, comments and questions are being asked and answered in there. So you definitely want to be a part of the private Facebook group. And, the reason I want you to actually sign up too is because this is not just a 5-day training. It's so much more. And I have more resources for you, and I don't want you to miss them. So you can join the private Facebook group and have access to everything. So if you haven't officially signed up, do that. And so you can get access to everything in that private Facebook group. Okay. And of course, after the training today, we will open it up for Q&A. If we have answered a lot of questions thus far in the past 3 days, and I'm also happy to answer any additional questions that you may have. But again, I want you to use hashtag question. Let me change my banner here to help kind of remind you of that when you do have a question. So make sure, that's just to make sure too that we document and keep a record of all the questions that are being asked. Therefore, we can make sure all the questions are getting answered. So I do have a team member here that is making notes of all the questions that are being put in the comments. So if you do have a question, make sure you use hashtag question and then post your question. Okay, moving on. I do want you to stay with me until the end because I'm going to give you some important homework, help you get the results that you're looking for through your networking efforts. I'm also going to tell you how you can win the 3 amazing prizes that I will be giving away this afternoon. And they do get better each day. If you've already won a prize, that's amazing. Congratulations on those that have already won prizes in the past couple of days. And to get entered to win the prizes is, of course, you have to be active in these live trainings and actually do and post your homework in the homework threads in the private Facebook group. So if you're ready to jump in and hear what's next, I want you to comment next in the comment section. And I'm thrilled to see you all here and ready to move forward. Awesome. So a little bit more about my story, of course. This was me 5 years ago as a preschool teacher in the local Head Start program here where I live. I was in the education realm and education industry for over 25 years. My oldest was just little, is kind of when I got started there and had the opportunity, to watch my children grow up through education too. So in 2018, I knew that it was kind of coming time for me to walk away from education. There was something more for me out there. I just need to go and find and see what that was. So I did research and found a coach and trainer for virtual assistants, and Tiger Eye Solution was born, my first business. So, and I also learned through evolving through my Tiger Eye Solution business how important it is to build relationships. I learned networking skills is, a part of that. It's one way to build those relationships and partnerships that you need to help your business grow and thrive. And so, therefore, I also built relationship connections referral network to help others build those relationships and those partnerships that they need to help move their business forward. And I also wanted to help uplift, support other professionals and make some money at the same time, of course. So as a virtual assistant, I was doing that with my clients. But then I learned, that there's so much more that I can also offer and help other professionals. So therefore, I created the network. And of course, my why is my family. I've shared this in the last couple of days, that they are the ones that keep me going. And I encourage all of you, everybody has a why. It may be your family, it may be something else. But determine exactly what your why is, why you started your business. And if you are a visual person like myself, post that somewhere in your office, around your workspace. Post a photo of your why. That gives you the opportunity to see that on a regular basis and remember that that is the exact reason of why you do what you do. Okay. So yes, I do have a picture of my family and a couple of pictures actually in my office. So a few fun facts about me. I am an international best-selling author of the book Jumpstart Your Blank. It was a compilation book that I was a part of back in 2020. The actual author is named Katrina Sewa. She is a marketing specialist, and she does do that a copy of that book every year. So if you're interested in possibly being an author in a compilation book, reach out to me and I can connect you and Katrina, and you could be possibly a part of her next compilation book. She does one every single year. This was the one I was a part of was in 2020. It was volume 3. And my chapter was called Jumpstart Your Follow-Up. I also enjoy singing on the praise team at my church. Actually, I had practice last night for the praise team. We do that every Wednesday evening. So I did get some practice with my singing last night. I'm also a huge country music fan. A few of my favorites are Kenny Chesney, Luke Combs, George Strait, and Rascal Flatts. And I also love being an entrepreneur. For some of you, you know that I actually own and operate 3 different businesses. Tiger Eye Solution, my virtual assistant business, of course, is 1. Relationship Connections Referral Network, of course, is 2. And then last summer, my daughter and I became Ruby Ribbon stylists. So that would be business number 3 that I actually do with my daughter. So I am all around entrepreneur for sure, but I enjoy doing that because it gives me so many different opportunities to help others and meet new people and actually make a little bit of money all at the same time. So helping others is, what I really, really enjoy doing. And I can do that with all 3 of my businesses. So, and again, of course, I have been an entrepreneur since 2018 when I first started Tiger Eye Solution, my first business. So let's move on. Of course, I want you to turn off all your distractions. Make this session all about you. It's time to, to learn and figure out what you need to move forward with your networking efforts, and how it's going to benefit you and your business. So maximize your screen, turn off your phone, put it on silent mode, turn it over, and put it to the side, so it's not going to be a distraction. If you have any technical difficulties, refresh your browser, and that usually fixes whatever may be wrong. As we move forward, put your questions again in the chat and use #question. So my team member can capture those questions for me. Okay. All right. We're going to recap the last 3 days of what we actually have done here. Our day 1 was the digital handshake. We talked about how it can be beneficial to you, and just, want to remind you, I do attend virtual networking events often and practice the digital handshake, and I encourage you to do the same. As we are learning all these tips and tricks this week, go ahead and, start scheduling some networking events to attend. I would love to invite you. Relationship Connections Referral Network. Our next meeting is next Tuesday, the 15th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We would love to invite anyone that is participating in this challenge this week to come visit with us, see what we're all about, see if we may be a good fit for you. And as I have stated before, it is a statistic to be an active member of at least 2 to 3 different networks. I myself am an active member in 2 of them. So I did have my V-Team networking meeting yesterday, which was really, really awesome. And that was right before I went live to do the prizes yesterday afternoon. And I did meet a new person that I will eventually have a coffee chat with and get to know better. So moving on, day 2, we learn when you're online to be on. We talked about when you're on a virtual event to really be on. Look at the screen, be interested, and participate in the conversation. Also, the best way to follow up and schedule coffee chats for people that you meet at the event as well. Ask questions, answer questions if you do have questions or know answers to some questions. That is also a great way to interact as well at a networking event. Day 3 of our challenge, we planned virtual social interactions. We talked about how to build relationships with those you meet at networking events and how to continue the conversation by doing additional activities with them. Have that coffee chat. Practice your elevator speech. Make sure that they know exactly who you are, the name of your business, what you do, who you like to work with, in the area you serve. There's 5 different components. You definitely want to make sure that you share during a coffee chat with someone and at a networking event when you're sharing your elevator speech. Those are the 5 components you want to make sure your elevator speech includes, okay? We did give an example, and I shared one version of my elevator speech with you as well. So if you still need, yours need some tweaking, or maybe you have questions if you should, add this or take this out. If you have any questions or want some feedback on any of that around your elevator speech, please share that with me. Ask that question in the group. I'll be happy to look at it and give you some feedback on it, okay? All right. So last month, I had numerous of coffee chats that laid the groundwork for ongoing relationships with some people I have met recently at networking events. And just remember, you can do that too. Just remember to continue to visit and join networking events and stay in touch with those you meet on a regular basis. If you go to a networking event next week, whoever you meet, you definitely want to have a coffee chat with them to get to know them on a deeper level. And then you don't want it just to stop there. Okay? That's not how you build that relationship and that partnership. You want to continuously stay in touch with them. There's even people now that are getting on my calendar. We've had our initial coffee chat from where we met at a networking event, but now we're going to have like a follow-up coffee chat to kind of just catch up, things may have changed for them since the last time we spoke, since our last coffee chat. So it's good to have follow-up coffee chats as well with those that you are continuing to stay in contact with on a regular basis, just so you can stay up to date on them, their business. Like I said, some things may change. A good example of that is, when I first started my virtual assistant business in 2018, I was starting out as an author assistant. That's what my niche area was being an author assistant, and I did work with some authors in the very beginning. But as I evolved, things changed for me. And so in January of 2020, I re-niched myself in relationship management and follow-up. So some of those people, that I may have met during the time that I was an author assistant, if they didn't stay in contact with me, they wouldn't know that. They would still be trying to refer people or authors and, other professionals to me that might need those type of services. Not that I can't still do those services. I can, but that's not what I enjoy doing the most. Okay. Relationship management and follow-up is what I enjoy doing. Okay. So it's important to stay in contact with even, like I said, I've been networking on a regular basis now for a year. I joined V-Team a year ago, and I still follow up with some of those that I met a year ago, just to make sure, their business is still the same and they're still actually offering the same type of services, or they help the same, audience, because that may or may not be so anymore. And you want to make sure, if you're going to be referring people to them, that you are referring the right people to them. So that information is important. Okay. All right. We are moving on. Okay. Let's see if we have any questions so far. Don't think so. All right. So this is called setting the table. I want to share a few things with you. Okay. And sometimes this is kind of what happens when we're networking. This also can be where some people get stuck. So one thing about professionals is that a lot of times we want to get everything right. Some of us don't want to get caught not knowing what to do, or how many of us don't want to get caught not knowing what to do. There's a lot of us out there like that. But as I shared before, everything doesn't have to be perfect. So when you are busy trying to get everything perfect, we miss out on starting and building so many relationships and power partners. So don't be worried about getting everything just perfect and just right, or knowing all the things, if you will. Building those relationships needs to be top priority. And then you can work on those other things, okay? Because, none of us are perfect anyway, and we're not going to be. Now, we can continue to build, in different areas on our skills, or, whatever it is within our business, we can continue to build on those. But are we ever going to be perfectionists? No. So, but you do want to know a few things for sure. The reason it's called setting the table is because we move the fork and we move the spoon. We create a rough draft of our elevator speech. We attend one networking event. We update our website or our LinkedIn profile, etc. We do many things, but we're not moving the needle forward. And are those things important? Yes. But is that where all our focus and attention needs to be? No. If you have a LinkedIn profile, perfect. If you have an elevator speech, perfect. You can still start networking. It don't have to be precise. You can work on it as you go. Okay, and tweak it as you go. So I totally understand that this is human nature for all of us. And it's not your fault. It's our brain's way of protecting us when things get scary, right? And, if you're new to networking or you don't network, just yet on a regular basis, I get it. It can be scary. But there's no way to just get over that fear until you just do it. You do it scared. Okay. You may have heard that term before, doing it scared, just do it scared. So, this can actually get in your way if, you let the scarcity take over. It can get in your way of building the relationships. You need to move your business forward. And sometimes we do overthink things as well. You don't want to overthink those things. So lots of times when we work on our own, we just need to keep moving the fork around. Who is ready to move and be authentic? Be your authentic self when you network. So yes. So just put ready in the comments if you are ready to do that. Because like I said, everything don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know all the things. If you have a specific area, a specific niche area, that's great. That is great. That's what you can offer, which is awesome. So remember, everything does not have to be perfect. Your elevator speech don't have to be perfect. Your LinkedIn profile don't have to be. My LinkedIn profile is not even perfect. It could use some work. I hadn't got to it yet to work on it, but yeah, it's on my to-do list. So everything does not have to be perfect. As long as they can go there and find out, say if somebody's looking me up, they look me up on LinkedIn. Yes, I have a profile. They can find me. They can find out my name, my business name, what specifically I do, and who I serve. And that's exactly what they need to know, right? Okay, we're going to move on. All right, a day in the life of a networker. Put coffee chats on your calendar. I have done this already. Pick all right, one of my CRMs is Honeybook. I have an option there to create a calendar, multiple calendars if I want, and I have created multiple calendars. So one of my calendars is for coffee chats. One is for consultations, of course, because I do offer consultations in my virtual assistant business. But I go in there and specify these calendars. There's specific times of the day that I'm available for coffee chats. So put those times in there. There's specific times of the day I'm available for consultations if somebody wants to consult, to possibly work with me in my virtual assistant business. So depending upon what you're scheduling, you can give them the link to your calendar, to that specific calendar. Now, some calendars may or may not be that way to where you can create more than one calendar. That's okay. Some of them, I think you can color code. I think like Calendly may be one of them. You can kind of color code different things. So maybe make coffee chats one color and make consultations another color. If they're wanting to schedule a coffee chat with you, you give them those days that you're available, or let them know. Please schedule a time on the days that are red. Or if they're wanting consultations, please schedule a time on the days that are blue. Whatever the case may be. But put coffee chats on your calendar. And that way, too, when you're at a networking event and somebody is interested in scheduling a coffee chat with you, all you got to do is share that link with them. They can go straight to your calendar and schedule a coffee chat with you. Choose X amount of networking events to attend a week or a month. Whatever works best for you. Like I said, I'm regularly active in 2 different networks, and one does meet on a weekly basis. So I do have that time blocked off on my calendar that every Wednesday at 3 p.m. I'm going to my networking meeting. Also, the bi-monthly meetings that Relationship Connections Referral Network has, I also have that time blocked off on my calendar. 4 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday, I have that networking meeting. So when you're visiting, of course, you want to visit multiple networking events just to try them out, see, which one works best for you. So when you're visiting, of course, as you sign up to attend that specific event, put it on your calendar. But then when you actually choose which ones are the best fit for you, you sign up to be a member to attend that particular network on a regular basis, block that off on your calendar. That way you know you will not ever miss an actual meeting for that network, okay? You always also want to arrive at the event to share about yourself and your business a few minutes early. Remember how we talked about the digital handshake? This is your digital handshake. So if they open up the meeting, like my VT meetings, the doors open 15 minutes prior to the meeting starting. The meeting starts at 3 p.m., but they actually open up the meeting at 2:45. So sometimes if I'm available, I'll get on there a few minutes early. And especially if we have visitors that are popping on, I'll introduce myself to them and say, something like, I can't wait to get to know you better. Just kind of, be kind, especially to those that, you're wanting to meet, possibly maybe schedule a coffee chat with later on. And always, always have your elevator speech ready. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just make sure you have something ready, okay? Have your contact information ready to share. A lot of networking events will tell you to share that in a chat box, which is a perfect place for it. And then after everybody has shared their contact information, you also want to make sure you save the chat before leaving that meeting. That way you have everybody's contact information. So, whichever ones you want to actually go back and possibly schedule a coffee chat with, you got their contact information. So you can contact them and schedule that coffee chat, okay? You also want to be an active listener when you're at a networking event. Like I've said before, make sure you always have yourself on mute if it's not your turn to talk. That way there's no distractions per se, especially if it's someone else is talking. There's always going to be a group leader, whoever's leading the meeting, and they're going to do a lot of talking. And then, of course, they're going to probably give everybody a turn to talk, a turn to share their elevator speech or whatever. But if it's not your specific turn to talk, make sure you're muted. That's kind of like being respectful to others. If you're in a live networking event, you're not going to sit there and try to talk while somebody else is talking to you. So it's the same thing in the virtual space. So be able to show your vulnerability. Be gracious. Be respectful of time. The specific networking event you may go to may only have X amount of time to do the whole meeting. So if they specify like, okay, you have 1 minute or you have 30 seconds, they may tell you specifically the amount of time you have to share your elevator speech or tell about yourself and your business or share whatever you have going on within your business. Make sure you're respectful of that time because you're not the only person on the call that has to share. So whatever amount of time they give you, be respectful for that time. And the most important piece is follow up and follow through. With whoever it is you're meeting at this networking event, follow up with them, schedule that coffee chat and follow through. Like I said, even after the coffee chat, you want to continue to follow up and stay connected with them just to help keep you top of mind, whether they're a perfect fit to work with you or not, because they may be a good power partner. They may not ever, have that need to work with you for whatever it is you have to offer, but they can know others that would be a perfect fit to work with you. And as they get to know you on a deeper level, and they're talking to Sally at the beauty shop, and she shares, in my business, there's really a lot of follow-up that has to be done, and I really just don't have the time to do it, nor do I enjoy doing it. Well, Cindy can say, you really need to talk to Lisa. Follow-up is something she specializes in, and she can actually do that for you and take that right off your plate. So see, that's Cindy referring me to someone else she just met or someone she knows at her hair salon. And that person that she's referring to me is going to trust me already because they trust Cindy. They know Cindy. So that know, like, and trust factor is kind of already established when other people are referring others to you, which is amazing, right? That means when they get referred to you, they are already ready to work with you. You don't have to worry about building that know, like, and trust factor. It's already there. Okay. I also try to have multiple elevator speeches available. No matter, how much time I'm given, I'm ready. Because especially if you're visiting networking events, different events give you a different amount of time to share, or to share your elevator speech, or to share about yourself and your business. So like the one I shared with you the other day in the other day's training was the shortest version, like my 30-second version. I have one that can take up to a minute. I have like 3 or 4 different versions of my elevator speech. So that is also something you may want to look into. Yes, I know we created an elevator speech this week, which is awesome. But you definitely want to have different versions ready when you're visiting different networks, because you never know exactly how much time they're going to give you to speak. But usually they tell you that up front. Like when I go to V-Team, they always give us a minute. So I have a whole minute to share my elevator speech and tell anything I want to tell about what's going on in my business. Now, I've been to other places where they give you 30 seconds. Tell us what you do in 30 seconds. Who are you and what do you do in 30 seconds? So you want to be ready no matter how much time they actually give you, okay? All right, let's talk about systems that you need, okay? A CRM or a spreadsheet, if you're just getting started out, a spreadsheet will be perfect to store all your new contacts' info so that you can continue to stay in touch with them. If you meet 5 to 10 new people at a networking event, you definitely want their contact information, right? So that you can reach back out to them periodically and one at a time to actually schedule a coffee chat and try to get to know them further. And that may evolve over a period of time. I mean, you're not going to be able to schedule a coffee chat with 10 people in one day. You're going to be really busy if you do, but normally that's not how that works. So you definitely want to save the chat at that event and go back and fill in your spreadsheet with all those people's contact information. They may share their LinkedIn connection there, their LinkedIn profile. So you can put that in there. They may share that they're on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. You can share and put that in there. They may share a phone number. They may share a calendar to where you can actually schedule a time to talk to them, schedule a coffee chat. And sometimes they may even share their physical address. Just depends on where you're at. But no matter what information it is, John Doe is at this event with you, and you definitely want to schedule a coffee chat with him later because you really enjoyed what he had to say, the specific kind of business that he has. So you want to talk to him because y'all could be possibly great power partners and possibly even maybe work together one day. So you definitely want to get John Doe's information and put it in your spreadsheet and try to go ahead and schedule a coffee chat with him. So y'all can get to know each other on a deeper level and start being power partners, referring others. Note taking, that's another one. You want to be sure to take notes during the event so you can refer back to them later when you're having those conversations and those coffee chats with the people that you met at that specific event. So always make sure you have pen and paper, or if you use a digital note-taking platform, some people do prefer the pen and paper. I do myself. I always make sure I have pen and paper ready to take any kind of notes while I'm at an event. But some people like to use a platform kind of like Evernote. It's a good platform to use where you can actually take notes there as well. Type your notes instead of actually handwrite your notes. Sometimes that can be beneficial depending upon what your handwriting looks like, right? All right, your calendar. Always have your calendar on hand, whether it's a link that you can share or maybe you have the app on your phone or something. If someone wants to actually schedule a coffee chat with you during the actual networking meeting, make sure you're ready for that, because that can happen. It's happened to me before. So I do have my calendar app on my phone, so I make sure I have that in hand and ready in case someone does want to go ahead and schedule a meeting with me right then and there. Or like I said, if you have your links ready, you can share that link in the chat and they can schedule a time to talk with you there. So you always want to make sure you have that available. Remember, everything does not have to be perfect. We learn as we go and build more relationships and expand on the relationships we already have. And you don't have to do it all alone. The Relationship Connections Referral Network is a great place to start. Our big Facebook group, Relationship Connections, is also a great place. And if you are a part of that group, I encourage you to actually start interacting with some of the other people. I know most everybody in that group knows me, and I post in there all the time questions and answers and all that stuff. But interact with those others. Ask them if they'd be open to having a coffee chat with you and get to know some of those other professionals that's in there, and start building those relationships and those power partners. Okay, I'm going to get a sip of water and look and see if we have any questions. Let's see here. Linda says she is ready to get moving forward instead of being stagnant. Very good. Very good. She also says it's hard for me to initiate a conversation with someone I don't know or haven't met at some point. That's what networking events are for. You introduce yourself, just like we talked about the digital handshake. I understand if you're an introvert. I'm an introvert myself. So it just takes practice. Like we talked about a while ago, sometimes you just have to do it scared the first few times. And that's okay if you have to do it scared. Just go ahead and do it scared. But the more you do it, the more events that you attend, the easier that will become. Okay. Let's see. I can't completely see your question, Cindy. Can you join people you know? I can't completely see that. So we'll answer that one in a little bit, okay? Okay, moving on. Before we go any further, there's a few things I want to share with you, okay? We are going to shift gears, but before we do, I want to say a few things to you. If you are taking in everything I have taught you this week, the digital handshake, when you're online, be on, planned virtual social interactions, and today being authentic. My best practice of being a networker and the systems you need to get started. You can start networking today. If you've got a spreadsheet, you've got your elevator speech, you've got at least one version of your elevator speech, you can definitely go ahead and get started. And if you enjoyed, excuse me, I need another drink of water. Sorry. And if you have enjoyed working with me this week and would like to continue to work with me, I have something for you. So who wants this? Who wants to keep going? Who wants to see what's next? Type next in the comments. Who wants me to hold their hand and help them get started with their networking efforts? Who wants accountability? Who wants to skip the speed bumps? Who wants to get time-tested solutions by someone who's done it themselves? Who wants step-by-step advice? Who wants solutions that are easy to understand and apply? And who wants to go faster? then they are able to go on their own. And who wants to get started now? You can type me or you can type now in the comments. Okay, I think I can see your question now, Cindy. It says, can you join people you know with their networking meetings as a guest? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can definitely do that. Okay, who's ready to see what's next? We got something exciting that is next. Let's go back to school. No matter where you are, you can begin now. It's never too late. You can start from where you are, and you can have the relationships and the connections that you want. Okay? So, with that being said, you are invited to join the Relationship Connections Referral Network Academy. I want to tell you a little bit about the Academy. This is a program that I have been thinking about for a while. I have carefully crafted from my networking experiences and efforts. Okay, picture, I'm going to step back a little bit, a bucket, okay? And everything I know about networking getting poured into this bucket, okay? And people want to drink from it, up-level their networking efforts, can dive in and get all the help they need. I had to figure it out on my own, okay? But you don't have to do that. This is a 6-month program. It's easy to implement, and you can absolutely do this. It is where you will learn exactly what you need to start and make the most of your networking efforts, okay? This program will give you accountability to help keep you focused, supportive solutions to help move you forward, help dealing with overwhelm and insecurity and imposter syndrome. It'll give you clear, practical, step-by-step advice on how to get the foundation in place. And exactly what you need to start, manage, and make the most of your networking efforts. A path for successful networking. Okay? This program consists of 10 modules with over 30 videos. There are 30 videos organized in the 10 modules, and they unfold over time, so that when you first get started, it's not so overwhelming. You can go through each module and video at your own pace, and you will have access to them forever once you sign up for the program. Each video is a 3 to 12-minute video, so that so it's not that overwhelming for you as you go through each video. There are also actionable items in there so that you can learn something and implement it and do it at the same time. Okay. We also will be having study hall during the 6-month period. We will meet every week on a Zoom call. Any Q&A, it'll be a Q&A session for an hour. You can bring all your questions that you may have, for the modules that you're going through, and we will discuss them. We can discuss your action items that you've done for that week, or, those the modules that you've been through, and get all your questions answered on and around, your, the modules and your networking efforts. All these videos are recorded and available for you. Questions can be about anything that you're struggling with or need clarification about as well. Okay. We will also have a school assembly. This will be where we'll kick off the academy. It'll also be on Zoom, where we'll all meet and get to know each other, everyone that signs up for the program. And we'll also have another assembly when the program wraps up in August or September. And we can kind of share at that time, all our ahas, what we learned, how we've implemented what we've learned, etc. Okay. I also want to talk to you about gibberish. Okay. Gibberish is that voice in your head that stops you, the imposter syndrome. This is a part of doing new things as well. That mindset is important when doing something new or stepping out of your comfort zone to do something we know we need to do to help us move forward, right? So definitely want to address the gibberish and that imposter syndrome as well. So I want to provide you with what you need to have the best networking experiences you want and deserve. You can start from where you are, and you can start now. If I can do it, you can do it. And I didn't start off with anything like this to help me either. I started off and figured it all out for myself. So I just want to remind you that I was once where you are, scared, before I got started, scared to step out of my comfort zone, scared to create that elevator speech. And oh my goodness, the few times I shared it, I don't even know if the people understood what I was trying to say. It's part of that imposter syndrome, as you're starting something new, for sure. So, if you want help, you want the accountability, you want step-by-step advice, actionable items that you can learn and then go put into place when you're doing your networking, this is exactly where you need to be. Okay. So the value for this program is $3,000 because there's a lot of things that are going to be shared for sure, but you're only going to pay $10.97. Okay. And like I said, it is a 6-month program. You can sign up for 6 actual payments, or you can make a one-time payment of the $10.37. To actually enroll in the program, you can go to relationshipconnections.com, RCRN Academy. That's the sign-up form there. And I want to get a solid yes or a solid no. I know some of you are thinking this is exactly what I need, but I don't know if I can afford it. I want you to pretend that it's free. Okay? I want you to think of it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, I don't think I need this to meet my goals. And 10 being, my gosh, this program is exactly what I need to help me with my networking efforts. So tell me in the comments if you are a 1, where you are on that scale from 1 to 10. Are you a 1? You do not need this to meet your networking goals, or you're closer to a 10. Yes, this is exactly what I need to help me with my networking efforts. So I'm going to take a drink while you go ahead and put your number in the comments. Let me see. Who do we have that's a 1 or a 10? There's also a fast action bonus. Okay. For everyone who enrolls in the Academy by 5 p.m. Eastern Time today will get access to a live Zoom call with me on how to create your elevator speech. Okay. So this is your fast action bonus. If you go ahead and sign up, Cindy, if you'll put that sign up link there in the comments, it's the relationshipconnections.com RCRN Academy. Is exactly where they can go to sign up for the program. So your bonus action is you have to sign up today by 5 p.m. and you get access to me helping you create your elevator speech, okay? So you don't want to hesitate. Go ahead and go to relationshipconnections.com/RCRN Academy and sign up. You can sign up for the 6, payments, because it is a 6-month program. The payments are $193 a month, or you can pay it in full for $1097. Okay. All right. Here's our homework for today, for day number 4. Ask the person that you've had a coffee chat with or did the 20-minute activity with to post in the Facebook group how you were authentic, or if you were authentic during the interaction with them. Okay. So whoever you have had your coffee chats with, you need to reach out to them and ask them if you were authentic, or ask them to post if they are, you're supposed to have your coffee chats with somebody that's a part of this challenge, right? So ask that person. Cindy, I think you had asked Sarah Page for a coffee chat. So when you and Sarah have that coffee chat, ask her if you're being authentic, and vice versa. Sarah can ask you if she's being authentic. And Cindy, you would go post on Sarah's behalf, and Sarah would go post on your behalf in the homework thread for day 4. Okay? So Cindy, you would share if Sarah was authentic during your conversation, and Sarah would share if you, Cindy, were authentic during your conversation. Okay? I will put the homework thread in the private Facebook group after our session is over, for each person to do that. So make sure you ask whoever you have had a coffee chat with to post for you in day 4's homework thread, okay? You're not posting yourself. That other person is posting for you, all right? And don't forget, this afternoon's our group surprise at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm not going to tell you what our surprises are, but trust me, they are awesome. You don't want to miss it. I am going to go ahead and say, though, if you've already won a prize this week, your name will be taken out of the wheel so that other people that have not won prizes has the opportunity to win something, okay? So I am going to adjust the prize wheel before I go live this afternoon for the prize session, okay? All right, Q&A. And there's the link again at the bottom of the screen if you are interested in joining the 6-month program for the Relationship Connection Referral Network Academy, okay? And get everything step by step. And you get to go at your own pace, remember, okay? Cindy says she's a 7. Linda says I'm in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, and I don't see, Cindy, if we have any questions per se for our Q&A session. If you have any questions maybe that come up after our session is over today about the academy or the homework, there again, I will specify the homework for today is not something that you actually do yourself. The other person that you had a coffee chat with will do it for you. So you have to make sure you're having coffee chats with people that are actually in the challenge this week, that are participating in the challenge. They may or may not be here today. Something may have came up and they weren't able to join us live today, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But they have been participating in our other live trainings this week and in the homework threads. So have that person, whoever it was you had your coffee chat with, to go ahead and post on your behalf. Make sure they say your name so that I know that they're like Cindy and Sarah. So Cindy, when you post on Sarah's behalf, put hashtag her name. And then when Sarah posts on Cindy's behalf, she could put hashtag Cindy's name. And then you say, yes, Sarah was authentic during our conversation. We had a great conversation, whatever you want to say. But you're posting on that other person's behalf, letting us know if they were authentic during that conversation, that coffee chat you had with them, okay? All right. So that is homework for today. The link isn't working. But you mean the program link? Is that what you're referring to, Cindy? Okay. I will look into that as soon as we're done here. So if we do not have any further questions, I'm going to go ahead and end our session today. Remember, if you have any questions about anything, the program, signing up for the program, I will look into that link for sure. Okay, we'll definitely take care of that link. Thank you, Cindy, for that. That is the end of day 4. This was amazing. Thank you for being here or listening to the replay. If you have to listen to the replay today, that's fine too. I look forward to seeing who's going to sign up for the program and take this 6-month journey with me. So until tomorrow, remember today at 4 p.m. is our prize session. I will come back live 4 p.m. this afternoon and give away some prizes. And then tomorrow again at 12 noon. I also want to make another announcement. We're actually going to have 2 bonus sessions next Monday and Tuesday at 12 noon. So yes, our 5 days will be over tomorrow, but I've also put together 2 bonus sessions for you that will happen Monday and Tuesday, the 14th and the 15th. You can call it a Valentine's gift if you like. I'm giving you 2 extra sessions and more tips and tricks around networking, okay? So you don't want to miss those. So go ahead and put that on your calendar as well. So you'll be available next Monday, next Tuesday at 12 p.m. as well. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you at 4 o'clock with some prizes.